head coach, Kalen DeBoer. Coach Harbaugh, will begin with an opening comment from you.
Thank you. I want to start by saying thank you to the CFP staff, their entire organization. It's been a phenomenal experience last week, this week, everything conducive to getting a team ready to play in such a huge game. Also want to congratulate University of Washington, Coach Kalen DeBoer, his staff. Truly nothing but respect for the job that they have done, that Coach has done. Truly remarkable coach. Followed your career. Amazing job at Fresno State, and what you've done at Washington in a short period of time is truly amazing. And we're honored to be here. We're going to have to play really good. We are going to have to play really good, and I think our team is ready. Hay's not in the barn. We're still, it never is for us. Still polishing, still working, but super excited to watch our players go out there and compete tomorrow night. Thank you.
Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, a lot of things that I'd echo as well. Just the whole week and a half here, everything leading up to the semifinal and the championship here, thanks to the CFP and just making this an awesome experience for our guys, something they'll never forget, making memories and all of that. And Coach Harbaugh, I've broke down a lot of film of Coach Harbaugh's teams over the years, not just at Michigan, but others as well. And just sharing with him, I can remember a lot of the big plays he's been a part of at different places. But amazing football team that they put together here over not just 1 year, but many years, and building up to this point. So it's going to be a great game, and we know we need to be at our best. Proud of our players and our staff for the way that they've just continued to grind here going into the last couple weeks. It's been a quick turnaround going from the semifinal game and a couple flights back and forth to Seattle. But our guys have just kind of taken it all in stride and done a great job just being in the moment and understanding the preparation is critical to success on game day. So we're looking forward to a great game, but congrats to Coach and everything that Michigan and his staff has done.
Thank you both. Let's get started with questions. Again, let us get you the microphone. Give us your name and affiliation. We'll start right down here in the middle aisle. Yep.
This is Nick Douglas with RealDog.com. Kalen DeBoer, could you talk a little bit about what you've done off the field to ensure quality young men and your players, in the age of NIL and portal and endless options for players to leave? What have you done to keep players around your program?
Well, I think fortunately we had a lot of the players in our program already that understood and were passionate about being great football players, but they were guys that truly in their heart were guys that wanted to make a difference, beyond the field as well. A lot of credit to even some of the coaches that came before me that brought in great men, and I've been fortunate, along with our staff, to be able to work on building better men. That's one of our slogans that we have in our program, and just challenging them to be their best on the field, but really, them understanding that at some point football is going to come to an end, and the moments that they're going through, the things that they're learning, and the impact they're having in our community or on campus. It says a lot about them and who they are, and I'm very proud of them and everything that they've done in all those areas.
We're going to go over on our far left in the front row.
I feel like I won an auction here with the paddle. Brad Galley from WXYZ in Detroit. Questions for Jim. I understand that your brother might be here on Monday night. I imagine your parents will be here along for the ride. Your kids are here with you. Jay's coaching in the game. When you step foot on the field for the national championship, in what ways will family be in your mind and play a factor in your job?
My two great loves, the family at work, our players, our coaches, our staff, their families, their parents, their grandparents, their brothers, their sisters, and my other great love is the family at home. Wife Sarah, the 7 kids, all are going to be here. Mom, dad, blessed, and brother, sister. We got brothers-in-law, sister-in-law. I mean, the whole family. This is, all coming together in the same spot. It means the world to me.
Take our next question from the middle aisle off on the right.
Good morning, coaches. Congratulations. Doug Parrish with Football Organically. Understand that some things were done a little bit differently in terms of a different approach in terms of your players getting rest. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Is that for me?
We'll start with you, Coach Harbaugh.
We decided to fly right back after the game in Pasadena. Felt like it saved us some hours. Get back to Ann Arbor, get rest in our own beds. There's allowed the guys to sleep in each day, and then Friday traveled here. That approach really is it was the same as we tried to duplicate an in-season week as far as the preparation, what we were doing on Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. And it had been about a month since we had done it that way. But I think it was good. I think our guys, really handled their business well. I mean, fueling right, getting their rest, getting their sleep, hydrating, putting in the game plan, and practicing it. I think we're in a good place. Feel like we had a really good practice yesterday. Guys are in rhythm, ready to go, and one more day today to polish, and we'll sleep in tomorrow. See if we can't cut the day a little bit in half, and make it into our routine for game day. But that's probably more similar than it was different.
Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, I think with our Sugar Bowl being such a late game, and us actually gaining hours going back to Seattle, we just stayed the night there. Sent the coaching staff back early, right after the game. Let them get to work on the plan, and then much like Coach Harbaugh said, I think, I felt the same way. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, trying to make it as familiar as we have just like we've done the entire season, the last 2 years. And so being in their own beds and being around our own facilities, just the efficiency that it allowed us to have. So we felt that was the best case scenario. And then getting down here, it's been good. Had a nice practice yesterday. Good to get in the facility there and get a feel for that. Brought some good juice to our guys and, had a nice clean practice. And again, got to do continue to build and, have a great day today leading up to tomorrow.
We're going to take our next question over here on our far right.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman. Jim, I have a scheduling question. Texas reached the CFP for the first time by winning the Big 12 and, of course, beating Alabama. Texas plays Michigan next year in week 2. In the 12-team format that we're going to have, do you think we'll see more or fewer great non-conference games like that? And do you specifically look forward to coaching in that game?
Well, really just not thinking past this game. Don't really have any thoughts about what'll be different about the 12-team playoff next year. Just really happy where we're at, and our mindset is it's a one-track mind. Win the next game. That's been our goal the entire season, and we are really locked in, on that particular mindset.
We're going to come next right here to the middle off to the right.
Coach Harbaugh, Brianna McNary with Off the Field. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to ask, if you decide to take a head coaching position with the Panthers, Patriots, or the Chargers, whoever it may be, what would be your farewell message to this team? This is a special group of young men who you've helped groom these young boys into young men, and now they have this chance to possibly win you your first national championship. What would be your message to this group of special young men?
My message to our guys is going to be play as hard as you can, as fast as you can, as long as you can, and don't worry, and just go have at it. It's been a group of guys that I've had to pull them back at times, have never had to talk them into anything, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait to watch them compete, watch them have at it. That's going to be my overwhelming feeling is, man, let's just go let it rip. And we're going to have to play well. This is a tremendous, tremendous team that we're playing, just thorough in every way. Can I talk a little bit about the Washington team for a sec? And I know people are trying to talk about this as a matchup, their quarterback versus our secondary. It's that's just one. It's a thorough team. They are really good in the offensive line, defense that is physical and tough, secondary that's active, productive. The takeaways that they've generated, and a lot of them come from the linebackers as well. Really good running game. Quarterback that is special, has the it factor in every way. Two teams in a lot of ways are mirror images in that regard, in my opinion. I mean, I think of ourselves as a thorough football team as well. But congratulations to Coach DeBoer, coaching staff at Washington, and the players that they have. You can tell they're connected, and they play hard. They're tough. It's one heck of a good football team, and excited to be in this position. Really feel like these are the two best teams. They're the last two standing, and anticipate one heck of a football game.
We're going to come right down here to the second row over to our right in the middle.
Coach Harbaugh, Zach Tawatari, KHU11, CBS Houston. Nico Collins has had a breakout season. I was just curious I know you're busy, but if you got to see any of the game last night, if you had been able to reach out to him at all, and what you think about the job he's done for the Texans this year.
It was fun to watch. I think he had 9 targets, 9 receptions, a ton of yards, 2 touchdowns. It was just great. I mean, just go back and think about the time when he was in high school, visiting him at his school. I mean, the reporting as a freshman, how hard he worked to put himself in that position. Just warms the cockles of the heart. And then to see him standing at the podium after the game in the letter jacket, I mean, that was really cool. So it's great. Keep doing you, Nico. It's working.
Next question will come one row in front.
Good morning, coaches. Congratulations. Nate Griffin, Fox 26 Morning Sports here in Houston. Just curious, and I don't know if you've had a chance to really experience the food here in Houston or what have you, but it's a foodie town, and I'm just curious about you guys, how it's been here. How have you enjoyed Houston? Once again, congratulations to you both, and that's to both of you.
Let's start with Coach DeBoer.
Yeah, we haven't had much of a chance to do much of anything. We got in. I'm on a game week calendar, so I'm trying to remember what day of the week it is. It's I think we got in on Friday night. So Friday night, and really, I mean, we just got to the hotel late that evening and had a few activities there. Got welcomed by by our group with Adidas there. It was great. And then yesterday we were just in full, preparation, meetings, practice, a little activity last night. And so we haven't had a chance to do too much as far as getting out into Houston and all of that. But we got some players, that certainly from the area, coaches that, have recruited in the area. And all share their experiences and the highlights. So we've been kind of taking it in that way, I guess.
Coach Harbaugh?
Yeah, just A++. It's been great. Like Coach, I haven't had a chance to eat outside of the hotel, but and I wish I could come. I wish I knew every name of every person from the CFP and some of the guys at the hotel, Chris and a few others. I wish I knew everybody's name and could thank them personally. They've been outstanding. We had, and I wish I knew the place that brought them in, but there were some of the best tacos I've ever had last night. Kids and I were loving it. It's been great, conducive for winning. Everybody's just been really great and personable. I think our team would say the same thing, but A++.
We're going to flip to the middle aisle over on our left.
Hi, Jim. Jack Doles from WIT TV in Grand Rapids. You run a program that's steeped in tradition. What would it mean to win this championship? What would it mean for your legacy, and how important is it to leave a legacy?
It would mean so much. I mean, it would, for our players, for them to know what it's like to be champions, just be simply referred to as national champions, and for their parents to have their son be a champion, a national champion, for their grandparents to have a grandson, for their brothers and sisters to have a brother who's a grandson. What it would mean to me, for my kids to know their dad is a national champion, and for my parents and for my brother and my sister, that's the overwhelming thing. Just that so many people would be able to enjoy that, be a part of that. For my wife, for her husband to be a national champion. For me, not so much but for everybody else, yeah, that would be huge.
Again, right off to our left, middle aisle.
Coach over here, both of you guys. So in a game where the passing game has become so important, you guys have two good running backs, between Dylan and Blake. So, what role do you see for those two in this game, and what do they mean to your program? Obviously, two very tough kids.
Start with Coach DeBoer.
Yeah, we know what Michigan's done with their running game and their offensive line, and just how it controls the tempo of the game, the physicality. I've always felt that if your offensive line is got that physical presence to them, your whole team probably has that physical presence as well, because that's what they're going against each and every day in practice. And so the running game is critical, not just to what Michigan's trying to do, but what we are as well, to be able to offset anything that as far as them attacking Michael, and just keeping away from being in a one-dimensional kind of type of spot where it's obvious pass downs all the time. And the run game helps keep you ahead of the chains, and Dylan Johnson for us is that guy, just like Blake is for them. And I think the other piece with Dylan, he's just such a team guy. And the reason I say that is it's not just about what he does, and he's racked up some big games rushing the football, but he's also going to be in there and be steady with his pass protection, and just a heady kid all around, and will do whatever it takes to help us win.
Coach Harbaugh?
Yeah, every phase is going to be important. I just made the comment last week that I really felt like it, if ever a game was going to be won, it was going to be one up front. Last week, this week it's that'll be huge. All phases are going to be huge in this game. Our running backs, Blake Corum, he just always comes to play. He is always willing to do anything and everything for the team. Never been around a guy who's more about the team than Blake Corum. And also Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullins, all three of those running backs had great games last week, and I anticipate they're ready to roll. And it's unselfish. I mean, if it's to catch, if it's to block, if it's to run, they're willing to do anything and everything for the team.
We're going to take our next question back with our camera friends, right in the middle.
This is for Coach Harbaugh, Joel Sebastianelli with BCSN and 13 ABC in Toledo. I've heard you say before that 2 nights before a game is when you get the sleep that you play on and coach on. This is the night before a big game. So when you're in the hotel room tonight, what does that feel like for you as a coach? And is that any different than the way it used to feel for you when you were a player?
I really do a lot of things the same as when I was a player. Really like to the night before, have that meeting, be with the team, be with my teammates, get together and watch there's still preparations to go over, a review, rewrite all my notes, but then get with the guys and have that meeting where you really get the red blood pumping, and then back to the room, maybe watch a movie, and then go to sleep. Sometimes I say the 2 nights before is the sleep you play on. I've always just liked I have no scientific evidence to present to you on that. I just know, when I played, and sometimes when I coached too, and just the night before a game, sometimes I don't always sleep great. So, I've convinced myself and that if I get at least 2 nights, the night before the game, if I get a great night's sleep there, I go, that's the night of sleep you're playing on. So, and if you get a really good night's sleep the night before a game, then that's a real bonus. That's the way I think of it.
I'm going to go here right off to the right, middle aisle.
Hi, Jim. Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 in Detroit.
Somebody might want to research that.
We will research it. Kind of furthering on routine before game day, a lot of your players yesterday had mentioned that you guys watch films on game day when there are games at night, or perhaps that'll take place today. And much of the tone was about predatory animals. I guess there are some documentaries as of late that you've been showing them.
Yeah.
Can you kind of lend a little insight into who chooses the movie, if there's an underlying message to that, and how your team receives it and how you want them to receive it?
Just a chance just to be with your team is the main thing. I like that, just that gathering. It was like the perfect fighting unit to me is a pack of wolves. A wolf pack, and you see them gathered together. Before the fight, you see them together going to the fight. You see them together in the fight. You see them celebrating after the fight, and the active word there is together. So that's the picture I have. We're together, and that's the night before the game. So we're together.
Take our next.
As far as who picks the movies and what are they? Because a lot of it's fight. There's that resonates with me because it's a football fight. These games you play, it's a football fight, and the night before, if it's a night game like tomorrow night, it'd be a little longer. Movie type of length. 12 o'clock kickoff, it'd be really short. 3 o'clock game may go an hour. And that's where some of the documentaries, on predators. We found one this year on predators, tigers, cheetahs, lions. Great stuff. Really seemed to resonate with the guys. I love them. Who doesn't, right? Some of those great type of things. But yeah, when it gets to how the world wants to turn you into something, but we kind of allow ourselves to devolve into a pack of wolves. That's what we want we want to channel. Probably nature's greatest fighting unit.
We're going to take our next question over here to the left aisle.
Chase Senior with Chat Sports. This question is for both Jim and Kalen. If you were to both write a book or a coach's guide on what is required to build a football program, what are the foundational elements that are required to put your team in a position where you're playing for a national championship?
Coach DeBoer.
Yeah, I think I would just hang our hat on what we consider our non-negotiables: family, accountable, tough. You got to be tough to play the game mentally, physically. There's got to be accountability in all ways, player to player, player to coach, coach to coach, coach to player. And, I think that it always comes down to love. You got to, have a family environment, and just those type of things are what really draw you together. And, when it comes down to those big impact moments, that trust that you've had because of the communication, because you do care, because you have a family type environment that hopefully everyone's been a part of facilitating. I think those are some of the keys. I know there's a lot more, but the trust and communication, leading to that environment, the accountability and toughness that it takes to win, on the football field.
Yeah, tremendous. Everything that Kalen just said, and I would add, it's 1,000 things. It's 1,000 little things that add up to make all the difference. A lot of things that people think are the little things or the minutia. To me, it's all those things. If you boil it down to just a couple things, get really good at football. That's the thing that you're passionate about, that you found in your life that you love and have passion for. So let's get as good at it as we possibly can in training, in practice, in games. And then just the very last thing to think about is just make sure you've given it your very best. That way you'll feel good about whatever you accomplish.
We're going to swing over here far right in the middle of the far right aisle.
Hey, Coach. Shahan Jairaj with CBS Sports. Coach DeBoer, obviously this Michigan running game is one of the most relentless units in the country. When you look for preparing for that, first of all, what do you take maybe from the 2 Oregon games that you played? And second, how do you kind of prepare for a unit that really doesn't kind of give up?
Yeah, I think there are some experiences that we've been through where we've been challenged against teams that really pride themselves on being physical and running the football. I do think that Michigan is a different animal when it comes to that. As far as what their intentions are and how well they execute. A lot of credit to get into everyone up front on their offensive line and their running backs. It takes a whole team. I think we've seen even running the football, it takes everyone when the receivers and the tight ends and all of those position groups are heavily involved and bought in. Playing at a high level, playing physical, executing. Makes a big difference. But it's going to take for us. It's going to take guys. Physically tough, but also, we're going to have to really execute. We can't be missing gaps as far as defensive line doing their own thing or linebackers doing their own thing, and you got to know where your help and support's at, and just everyone doing their job and doing it at a high level. That's what it takes to be able to hang in there and do a good job against a team that runs the football like Michigan does at such a high level.
Let's come right down here on the aisle to our right.
Nico Tamurian, Como News in Seattle. Coach DeBoer, just your second year together with all these guys, what is it about your team? What quality is it that in just that second year you're able to make it to this stage and have a chance at a national championship?
Well, there's been a lot of sacrifice and commitment. Very good football players, obviously, across the board on both sides, but there's been this sacrifice. There's been some choices that have been made by guys to come back, starting with Michael a year ago in December, deciding he was going to come back and not move on to the NFL. he kind of led the charge, and a lot of guys chose to go down the same road. I think they just really firmly believed that there was more left out there for this football team. I think they also felt like they could have a continued growth and development, as a person, but especially as a player that would help them and improve their opportunities moving on to the next level. But I think the first thing that I said is just probably the most important, is that there was a job that wasn't done. They've really hung on to that motto here, especially the second half of the season when we've gotten win after win, just referring back to jobs not done. And I think the team, each win, has celebrated on somewhat of a level because I make sure that they do that, because it's really hard to win a college football game. But it's been this really even keel, just kind of mentality, and just knowing that the work's not done, the job's not done, and we're going to celebrate the win. But the next game's the most important, and they've a huge credit to them. They've taken it one game at a time, not gotten ahead of themselves, and just focused on the process, focused on the work, which led to success each and every week, which leads us to where we're at today.
We're coming up on time. We're going to take 2 final questions. We're going to start right here on the second row to our right.
Mitch Friesenberg, Sports Capital Journalism. Question for both coaches. Both teams have been through high-stakes games, high-stress games these past couple months. And now that you guys are near the finish line, there's so much pressure on these young men to succeed. How do you guys keep your guys focused and avoid burnout?
Coach Harbaugh?
Simply go out there and give it your very best. That's all we can ask anybody. All we can ask of ourselves, all we can ask of anybody else. Go out there and give it your very best, and that way you'll feel good about what you accomplish, no matter what that is.
Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, I think every week I just challenge the guys to not have any excuses. So that means great preparation, which will lead to confidence, which leads to success on game day, and have no regrets. When you pour everything into it, very similar to what Coach just mentioned, and you're just doing everything to the best of your ability, you live with the results. And I think our guys have done a great job of embracing the moments, the tough moments, the challenges, embracing the fight, embracing each other, of course, but just love being in that moment. And I think it leads to confidence when everyone just kind of, has great body language and ready to go out there and just take on the next challenge, whether it be the next play or the next game, loving the moment, embracing it, and making sure that there's no excuses and no regrets when it's all said and done.
Final question, all the way in the back on the riser television.
Yeah, congratulations to both of you guys for making it here. Tyler Segerman, WTOL in Toledo. This is a matchup next year that it's going to be 2 Big Ten teams. I'm just curious how you guys view this matchup as it relates to the future of the Big Ten Conference.
Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, I think, again, very similar to a question that was asked earlier, just focus on now. And yes, it is something that will happen again soon in the next year as far as this matchup. But right now, we're just in the moment. This is about the 2023 Huskies and our journey and everything that we've poured into this season. And we're just going to make sure we're dialed in on the things we can control right now, and who's on board, and making sure everyone's pouring everything they got into this moment.
Coach Harbaugh?
The same, hate to end with a clunker answer to what's been a great press conference, but it's just really everything that's right here in front of us. Coming down the straightaway like a thoroughbred. You can see the finish line. Got the blinders on. I mean, each guy, I'm just going to the whip. The future, hope to have one. Hope there's a tomorrow. Hope there's a day after tomorrow. Hope there's a next week, a next month. I hope a next year. Hope to have a future.
That concludes today's news conference. We're going to go ahead and have the coaches move to either side of the trophy. Everybody could stay down. We're going to start with our friends in the back. ENGs on the back. We'll get them in place and give you a couple seconds here, and then we'll move down to the front. If you are on the aisle in the middle, if you could just please make sure you're not moving out into the aisle so that our folks in the back can get their shot. And then again, you'll have time when we move down to the front. All right, we'll pause here for a moment for our television crews in the back. All right, and let's go ahead and move down here to the front, to our photogs in the front. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll look forward to seeing everybody throughout the day, and should you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.